Hi everyone, hope you well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin once again. Thanks for your support. Okay, big up the CoinsKid crew. So right now you can see that Bitcoin is breaking down, isn't it? It is losing this key level of support which we've been targeting for so long. This 1.272, as you're fully aware, you know, in previous bull runs when it's peaked out and rolled back to this particular level of support on the way up, it's always held it as support in a bull run. So the fact that we are losing it right now is not a good thing. It's one strike for the bear market scenario right here, potentially leading us into a bear market. And you know, we do have a couple of key structure levels just here. I'm going to show you right now, and this is, you know, why I've not been screaming bear market and jumping on the bandwagon. It's the same as Alessio Rustani. You know, he released a video yesterday which just clarified my point of view as well. You know, the fact is we could all jump on the bandwagon here when Bitcoin was breaking down and say bear market, but unless you were breaking key levels of support which I've shown you, then you're not in a bear market. And right now you're still not in a bear market, even though we're breaking down. Okay, we're losing this at the moment. You're still not in a bear market. You're having a correction, okay? Bitcoin's having a correction. And there is a confluence with the DXY as well. The DXY is caught in a very bearish pattern right now. And believe it or not, Bitcoin is actually in a bullish pattern. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? So, you know, you could see a flip-flop, basically, where the Bitcoin price rockets, finds a base, finds a bottom, doesn't lose a key level of structure, and then picks up, and the DXY breaks down and it validates that bearish pattern. Okay, you're fully aware of that. I'm trying to update you as best as I can in the channel to keep you updated. Obviously, you're fully aware if the DXY breaks out of that level of resistance, then you're looking at a bear market for Bitcoin. Now, obviously, you've got this precursor, the fact that you are losing 1.272. You know, like I've said to you on the weekly time frame, if you do start to come under this now and start to hit in your head, there's a probability you're going to come lower to test another key level of support. Now, I've shown you that level of support, okay? But right now, as stated by Alessio Rustani, I won't show you his video. I'm going to drop a link to his video. Please watch it, okay? Because up here, he's saying that we're not necessarily in a bear market as well. We're having a correction, okay? And right now, unless we do lose a key level of support, a structural support, you know, then yeah, bear market material. So we're on the cusp of a bear market. We're not in a bear market. And this is what I've always been trying to say to you, okay? I think that amateur technical analysis, be honest with you, on YouTube, okay, are telling you we're in a bear market. People that are just looking at this chart, it's easy to say we're in a bear market, okay? It's more difficult to show you the true analysis of this chart and point out that we are still actually in a bull market. That's the true story here, okay? So primarily, you're fully aware, if you do lose the monthly, okay, the monthly 20 EMA, you can look in the history of Bitcoin, you're in a bear market, okay? It's not good that you're breaking down on the 20, that's the transparency of it, you're fully aware of that, because like I said to you, the weekly is a massive time frame, okay, and it's sort of a pre-indicator of a long-term trend, basically, and like I said to you, the trend is your friend, and right now you're consolidating, okay, hence, you know, corrective, retracement, consolidation. But as soon as you start losing this 55, you're building up a precursor to a downtrend. Now we've got a few days of trading left yet, okay? So do anticipate that you could potentially just see this as a wick moving forward. And towards the end of the weekend here, we may see a high level of support come in for Bitcoin because you have two key levels of structural support just there. I'm going to show you this right now for those of you who have not watched Alessio's video, okay? So just there, you've got a level of support just there when Bitcoin broke down, and then you've got another level of support just here on this low just there where this wick is. Do you see this? So you've got two key levels of support. Now if Bitcoin does break down and loses either one of these, then yes, bear market, big tick bear market, because the trend has changed. Do you understand that? You've basically rolled over and you've created a new downtrend and you're losing key levels of structural support, because at the moment what's happened is, okay, you've had a correction, you've come down, you've created a low, you've had a rally, you've run into a level of resistance, you've come back down, you've made another low. Now you come back up and you're failing to make a high higher than this. So effectively, if you do start to come back down and you lose that low, and then most importantly lose this low which you already created, then yes, you're reversing the trend and you're in a downtrend effectively instead of consolidation. Do you see this? So yeah, that's a massive cursor to the fact that you are going to be pushed down to lower levels of support, potentially losing them and entering that multi-month year bear market. Nobody knows. So at the moment we're holding on for dear life, and one thing that has got my back up basically is the fact that we're in a correlation, an inverse correlation to the DXY, and the DXY is printing a very bearish pattern. So I'll always show you this. So right now, let me just show you the RSI for Bitcoin. Now, you know, on a weekly, we've been targeting this particular trend line. Now, look how close we are to it at the moment. Now, are we at potentially the bottom of Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin potentially going to come down and create a double bottom on that 28K and not lose it as structural support, giving a big precursor and a tick to the actual bear market? Do you see what I'm saying here? Okay, so do anticipate if we do come down any lower, put some cheeky bids on this trend line, because this is potentially the bottom. You're looking at the bottom here for Bitcoin, and I've shown you, you know, that the smart money is buying it. I'll show you every day the smart money is accumulating. Okay, so pay attention to that. Don't ignore that. That's a massive indicator. I mean, Glassnode's, I won't go into it at the minute. I'll drop all the links because I'm trying to make the quick video today for you, because I do ramble on a bit too much. But look at the Glassnodes. The Bitcoin's being removed from exchanges. It is an alarming rate. Also, the whales, the institutional whales, wallets, addresses that have between 1K and 10K, they're accumulating, they're buying right here at this level, because potentially they know that the bottom is in, you know, and us amateurs and us retail, because that's what we are, we're retail, okay? We're selling here because we're being drip fed that we're in a bear market and Bitcoin's going to zero. Do you see that? But this is the absolute optimal entry point right here, staring you in the face for Bitcoin if it holds a key level of support. So it looks bad, but it's being driven in the floor, and I'll tell you why. There's a correlation between this and the DXY, and I'll always keep reminding you. Now look at the DXY, it looks great, doesn't it? Okay, look, you've got Crypto Savvy is saying that we're in a WW bottom. You're nowhere near a WW bottom. Look at that level of resistance right there. Look, that's your resistance. You've not even come near it. You're not creating a WW bottom. You're creating a horizontal triangle, which is a continuation pattern in my book, and you're creating rising wedges on the daily time frame, especially. Look, okay, look, you've got a rising wedge just there. What did it do? It broke down, came back to a level of support. Okay, you've got another rising wedge just there. What did it do? Broke down there. Now this level of resistance that I've drawn in for you, another rising wedge just there. Look where we bounced off yesterday on the 4-hourly time frame for the DXY. Look at this rising wedge that we're forming right now for the DXY. This is a bearish pattern right here. Okay, it's not a horizontal triangle or an ascending triangle because it doesn't have a level layered top. Do you see that? It's a rising wedge, which is negative. It's a bearish reversal pattern. Okay, yep, they can break up, so we're going to pay attention to this. But for me, it's immensely correlated with Bitcoin at the moment, because you can see, look, when this come up, Bitcoin dumped. When this came down to this level of support on this trend line of this rising wedge, do you see this? Bitcoin pumped. And then, like I said to you yesterday, if you're going to see this pump, you're going to see Bitcoin dump. And right now you can see you're running into this resistance of this upper trend line again, of this rising wedge. Now do anticipate, come to this chart, because if you do see the DXY hit this level of support just there, you know, this is where you could see this fall and Bitcoin pump from wherever it is. So do pay attention to this, because this is highly tradable. You know, long Bitcoin here, short Bitcoin here, until it does something like this, where the DXY breaks out, whether to the upside, spells bear market for Bitcoin, or down here, you know, a continuation of the uptrend for Bitcoin, potentially coming up to test another key level of resistance, okay, and basically wrecking all the bears. And then a continuation perhaps down here, we could continue with this sort of rising wedge coming back down to where it comes from. And then eventually, you know, if we zoom out on the weekly, let's take a look at this chart on the weekly. Okay, you can see that effectively you've got a few weeks here where potentially there could be a bit of a swing between Bitcoin and the DXY doing something like this before we continue with this trend on the DXY to the downside, because this is a horizontal triangle. It's a continuation pattern, whereas Bitcoin, this is just what I'm seeing. Okay, I'm just relaying what I'm seeing. I'm not biased because I want Bitcoin to go up. I'm telling you what I'm seeing as a technical analysis, you know, with years of experience and seeing things in the charts and being able to tell you where Bitcoin was at the top. Okay, when everyone was screaming for continuation, I was saying, CoinsKid was saying, we're going to roll here, guys. Be careful, you know, take some profits. You've got pullback targets, you know, and have all been met. The 28,800 on the dollar. I gave you that and it was met, okay? So it's not that I don't know what I'm talking about. All I'm doing is relaying what I see. You know, I'm not feeding you no bullshit or spiel that the fact that I do think Bitcoin will go to 200K if we do hold key levels of support. I do see that for Bitcoin, okay? And right now it looks bad, it looks bearish. I do know that, but you are actually forming a very beautiful bullish pattern here for Bitcoin. So I'm just going to show you this. Where are we on the daily? No, we're on the 4-hourly, aren't we? So let's take a look at this pattern. So you can see right now you're in some falling wedge just here for Bitcoin. Do you see this? So look, falling wedge. See that? And they have a tendency to be a reversal pattern. Basically, like I said to you yesterday, look, you run into this level of resistance. Do you remember I said that yesterday? You're tightening just here. You know, you run into this upper resistance line of this larger falling wedge that Bitcoin finds itself in. Do you see this? This massive falling wedge that Bitcoin finds itself in. And also, you've got the support line of this smaller falling wedge that you find yourself in. So there is a break, there is a pop. It's very, very imminent, because what you're doing just here, you're in some kind of triangle, falling wedge within itself, a smaller one just there. Do you see this? Potentially a reversal coming back up to where you formed it. So you could see Bitcoin pump, you know, from there where it is right now. You could see it pump and break these levels of resistance, falling out of this smaller falling wedge. Do you see this just there? Okay, so they're all patterns in patterns. You've got a large falling wedge, you've got this medium falling wedge, and then you've got this smaller falling wedge that you're forming right now. Looks bad, looks bearish, but in actual fact it's a reversal pattern. So if you can break out this level of resistance just there, you're going to see a little pump for Bitcoin coming back up to where you formed it, roughly 33,204. So that's potentially what's on the cards over the next couple of days, because like I said to you, if you take a look at the DXY, let's take a look at the DXY just there, you know, on the 4-hourly time frame, you're running into resistance of this rising wedge, which is a reversal pattern. My drawings are getting messy, I do apologize. So yeah, there's some confluence between the both, which has me quite bullish for Bitcoin, to be honest with you. It has me quite bullish, because if I wasn't looking at this DXY in correlation of an inverse, you know, I wouldn't be necessarily as bullish on Bitcoin, to be honest with you. I just think that Bitcoin's coming down, it's holding key levels of support. Until you lose those key levels of support, I would not necessarily go short on Bitcoin. And there's a high confluence as well, you know, the fact that all those off-chain analytics that I'm telling you about, the smart money's buying, the glassnodes, the removal of Bitcoin from exchanges, all the wallet addresses, the whale addresses that between 1k and 10k they're accumulating right now. Okay, so you know, you have to pay attention to those things. And you know, we all want the resume of the bull market. It's horrible, isn't it, this downtrend that everything finds itself in. But until Bitcoin breaks that key level of support and structural support, which I've just shown you, then potentially, you know, Bitcoin is just coming back down, consolidating, building up momentum and building up steam for the continuation of the bull run in this cycle. Okay, and until we do start to break down and lose those key levels of support, then I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, and that's the truth of the fact. Okay, but yeah, so it doesn't mean what I believe or what what I'm seeing is the final destination for Bitcoin, because yeah, we could enter that bear market, we could lose some key levels of support, the DXY could break out here. Okay, but the fact is the DXY is painting and printing a bearish pattern within a larger bearish pattern on the weekly time frame. It's in a horizontal triangle, which is a continuation pattern. It ties up with Bitcoin's consolidation, okay, and a bottoming out structure for Bitcoin before breaking to the upside for Bitcoin. You know, this is all. This is what I see. I'm just relaying it to you. I'm not lying to you. I hope you understand what I'm saying, yeah? Because most technical analysis, you know, they're looking at this. They're looking at this. I'll show you right now. I'll name them: Kirby Crypto, Crypto Savage. They're saying what they see, but they're biased in the sense that they're showing you the bear market and they're not looking at potential upside, which is what I'm doing for you. Okay, I'm showing you both flips of the coin and the reasoning for both. Do you understand that? But they're not. They're just pushing the bear market bias, because they're just saying what's in front of them like this, which is easy to say. You can look at this and say, oh yeah, we're in the bear market. We broke down here. Yep, bear market for Bitcoin, everybody. Bear market. You know, it's not. The truth is, you know, here you broke out and you create this bull market structure just here for Bitcoin. You went up, you came down, you consolidated, you lost support. Okay, you hovered under the 55 for a few weeks there, which potentially you could actually do here. Okay, but as long as you don't break below this structural support, you know, and then picked up, consolidated, and then you had that unforeseeable black swan event, a V-shaped recovery for Bitcoin. But here, this was your buy and go to the beach signal from CoinsKid. This was the start of the bull market, and just there I would have been laying down the fibs and telling you that Bitcoin's going to 64k at the 1618. I would have telling you it breaking the all-time high. You wouldn't believe me. I said to you it's going to 200k. Again, you wouldn't believe me. You know, especially when we had this. Okay, especially when we had that, you wouldn't believe me. But look what happened. We did. We got there. You know, because it's on a journey. But again, it doesn't mean it has to happen, and I've not got a crystal ball. So yeah, just a little update for you today. You know, I'm still bullish, but the other thing I want to say to you as well, you know, I can't give a time frame as when I do think that we will bottom out for Bitcoin, you know, until we start to see the DXY do what it does and potentially break out or up, then that's your time frame effectively. But what I will do right now is a little thought experiment, because I've seen this on TikTok. Okay, I'm going to show you this because someone tagged me on Twitter yesterday. I'm going to show you this as a little thought experiment for Bitcoin. Okay, so where are we? So this is called the fib. It's called, I'll go down on the left here, on the third column down, you've got trend-based fib time. Now this guy on TikTok, this was going a little bit viral, this post. I don't know whether you've seen this. Okay, get that off, I apologise. I don't know whether you've seen this, but he said he can call the bottom. But I think he was a little bit out, and I'll show you why. I'll go through it, exactly what he did. Now he's saying that the bottom is around about September for Bitcoin. I understand why he's done this, but he's gone from the top there, and he didn't necessarily go to the bottom. This is, I messaged him and says, you know, you put your bottom of your fib not on the actual bottom. He put his bottom there, and I think he did that because I'll show you. Watch, that's the true bottom just there, and you can see that this is the top just there, that rally. So, and you can see that potentially this is where your bottom 0618 should have been. But what he did, he moved his bottom just to there like that. So that created, where are we? Just there. And just there, that's it. So look, boom, the 0618 is the bottom. Do you see that? So he actually sort of manipulated his chart a little bit. Okay, so moved it like that to see where the bottom of the wave was. Do you see that? So that should have been the true bottom just there, and you can see there was actually a rally there, and it wasn't the true bottom. But on his video, I'm going to drop a link to his video actually, so you can look at it and see exactly what he did using this fib-based time trend just there. And you can see that because he moved his position, he gave himself the bottom of the 0618, boom, bottom. So let's take that as a thought experiment right now. That it was pretty close, you know. I don't know why he moved it, obviously just to line it up to make the video go viral perhaps, but yeah, so that's basically from the top to the bottom to the next top. It gives you the bottom of the next wave. Do you see that? So I'm going to get rid of this just there. So what we're going to do is exactly the same again. So we go from this top just there to the bottom just there, and then to the top of that wave, which is a wave 3, and it gives you the potential bottom of this downtrend and this wave 4 for Bitcoin, because this is wave 2. You see that? Okay, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 we're going through right now, and potentially we're trying to find the bottom. It's what we're trying to do in the channel, is find the bottom of this wave 4 for you. Okay, he's saying based off this, and this could be absolutely right, it could be right, you know, no one knows, but it's just a thought experiment I'm doing with you. Potentially the bottom could be the 20th of September 2021 is the end of wave 4, where we do bottom out of the fib. What's it called? Let's have a look. It's called the trend-based fib time. I've personally never used this particular tool before, this particular indicator. I've never used it. Okay, so it's the third column down, and you come down, it's called trend-based fib time, and basically it's showing you potentially that that is the bottom. The 20th of September, we've got wave 1 high, wave 2 pullback, wave 3 high, wave 4 pullback, based off, you know, Fibonacci 0618, the golden ratio. This is potentially where we could actually find a bottom for Bitcoin in this wave 4 before we start to form the wave 5, the upwards wave to the 200k that we're anticipating, and a 1.272 Fibonacci extension just up there. Okay, so it's a little thought experiment. Come to your charts, have a little play with this fib-based trend time. What's it called again? I need to remember what this is called. I need to remember what this is called, don't I? I've never even used it before. Fib, where is it? Where are we? Trend-based fib time. Have a look. If you know anything about this particular indicator, please tell me, because this is new to me. I've never used it before in my life. You know, I've seen this little TikTok video going viral, and I thought, that's interesting. You know, but like I said to you, he did manipulate it a little bit, you know, so I'll show you again. He went from the top there, which was the previous cycle high, wasn't it, down to here, which for me would be the bottom. I wouldn't say that was a bottom. I don't know why he moved it, but I think he moved it to line up with this, you see, so he could actually pick the bottom. You see, just there, that's what he did. He manipulated it, so he ended up on the 0618 just there. So in actual fact, that was it there. Do you see what I mean? But to be fair, he wasn't far off, was he? I mean, he was. If you use this, effectively, the bottom should have been 20th of January. But in actual fact, you know, if you move it across, the bottom was in March, wasn't it? Yeah, 9th of March. So it was a couple of months out. So, you know, we're going to run another couple of months before we find the bottom? Who knows? But personally, I've never used this trend before, this indicator. So please do write in the comments if you see anything. Yeah, so that's the Bitcoin update today. I'll be back tomorrow with another Bitcoin update. Come to your charts, have a play, experiment with all these little tools and everything. If you do find anything, pop them in the comments section of the video. And once again, thanks for really nice comments and the support across the channel. Okay, I'll drop a link to Alessio's latest video. Do watch it, have a look, and so you can get more of an idea of exactly what he's saying as well. Okay, and I'm pretty much in his camp as well with what he's saying basically. Take care everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.